Hi everyone, my name is Banda, and my project is called While the Hills Burn, Why Anaheim Hills Residents Fear New Development. I chose this topic because I live in Anaheim Hills, and I became interested in the debate surrounding this new festival housing development project. The more I looked into it, the more I realized it connects to a bigger issue across California. Communities are being pushed to build more affordable housing, but in Anaheim Hills, many residents are worried about wildfire safety, evacuation routes, and traffic during emergencies. The main issue is balancing the need for more housing with public safety. The Anaheim Hills Festival project would add new housing in an area that's already considered a high wildfire risk zone. Residents worry that adding more people and traffic could make evacuations slower and create more problems during a major wildfire. At the same time, California is dealing with a major housing shortage, so cities like Anaheim are under pressure to approve more development. I showed this map that shows where Anaheim Hills is and how the fire zones work. The darker red's going to be the higher impact zones, and the festival center is going to be around here. As I researched this issue, I found that it reflects a much larger housing crisis across California. According to SCAG, which is the Southern California Association of Governments, Southern California is expected to continue to grow in population and housing demand over the next few decades. I also found that the California Department of Housing and Community Development pushes cities to increase housing supply in order to address this affordability and housing shortage. So this debate isn't just happening in Anaheim Hills. Cities across California are trying their best to figure out how to build more housing while also dealing with growing environmental and safety concerns. One of the biggest concerns residents keep bringing up is wildfire evacuation. I showed a pamphlet here that was sent out on Facebook where many residents came together to try to stop this project from going through. Local reporting from Voice of OC showed that many residents fear additional housing could increase evacuation times during emergencies and place more pressure on already limited road access. Some residents also compared this project to similar nearby developments that had previously been denied, partly because of fire safety concerns. After watching city council and planning meetings, it became clear that wildfire preparedness has become one of the biggest parts of this debate. I got the chance to interview the Chief Communications Officer of Anaheim, Mike Leister. To better understand the city's perspective, I chose him because he's probably the best advocate and the only person that really wanted to talk to me about it. One thing that surprised me was how detailed the city's review process actually is. He explained that before projects are approved, the city reviews zoning, traffic, environmental impacts, geology, wildfire evacuation planning, and several other factors. He also explained that Anaheim Hills presents unique wildfire risks compared to the rest of Anaheim, which requires them to have additional planning and safety reviews. Another important point he brought up was that community feedback, although it is important, is only a small part of the decision-making process. The city also has to consider state housing laws, legal zoning rights, and environmental regulations. He also explained that California puts significant pressure on cities to approve housing, and cities can face large lawsuits if they reject these projects, especially if they don't have legal justification. Overall, the interview helped me better understand how complicated these decisions can be and how the city is trying to balance both housing needs and public safety. After researching this issue and speaking with city officials, I think Anaheim should continue focusing on responsible development instead of just simply approving or rejecting most projects. Some possible solutions include improving evacuation routes, investing in road and infrastructure improvements, strengthening wildfire mitigation strategies, and continuing detailed environmental review before approving future developments. I also think transparency is important, so residents better understand how planning decisions are being made and what safety measures are being considered. I showed this map of evacuation routes, and as you can see, there really isn't many. There's three right now, and with how many residents they're planning on adding, it just doesn't sound like it would be a very sustainable operation. Moving forward, Anaheim will continue facing pressure to build more housing, especially as California's population grows. Because of that, future projects in Anaheim Hills should continue undergoing detailed wildfire and environmental review, while also prioritizing emergency preparedness and infrastructure planning. This issue shows how different local public policy decisions can become when cities have to balance housing demand, legal requirements, environmental concerns, and public safety all at the same time. Thank you so much for listening. This is my sources and works cited.